Brandon.
I'm John.
And this is the Double Turn Wrestling Show.
Presented by
alltail.com. So, it's our first show.
We got that done.
Yeah, that's a thing now. So, first issue we have today. NXT has issues. Lots of them. One being Apollo Crews has no character, and they're pushing him as the big new face. Essentially because Finn Balor is the champion, and generally the champion's going to be moved up to the main roster. They need to replace Finn Balor as a face. And they're trying to do that with Apollo Crews. But we know nothing about Apollo Crews except for that he can flip.
At this point, though, in developmental, this is where they develop their character, cultivate their character. Right now, what you can only look at him by is his in-ring attributes, which he has plenty of, especially since he made his name for himself in the indies, being Yuhad Nation, or however the hell you pronounce that.
Agreed.
And he's shown that he could definitely be the future of NXT, possibly as a giant babyface, possibly also have him as a arrogant, egotistical heel if people get sick and tired of the whole smiling shtick that he does.
The issue is Baron Corbin. They're trying to push him as a big, dominant force, but everything's been a squash match. Other than his matches, which admittedly weren't horrible. They weren't great. But there wasn't a lot of technicality. It seems like his moveset is clothesline, right hand, finisher.
End of days. Or fall a man, or...
That's it. Actually, I was really surprised for how good he is on the mic. He's actually not bad on the mic. I think he's fantastic on the mic, and I was really worried about him going to the mic because he was so quiet and just doing squash matches for forever. And so I thought, this guy's going to be just as bad as, Sid Vicious.
He definitely has a character that can be cultivated that's being sort of exposed more on Breaking Ground, which will make things a little bit more natural. That he's a bit of a cocky individual, an arrogant individual, definitely full of himself. Very much in the mold of the side of Brock Lesnar that we definitely saw during the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast interview, that he feels, he is the shit. And that he also is taking on the same lone wolf persona that Lesnar said that he is. Seems like the kind of guy that just is keeping to himself, gets annoyed by most other people. That could definitely be something that actually he does to further cultivate his character, because Lesnar doesn't necessarily do that in his in-ring. That's just more of his backstage.
Do you think Baron Corbin would benefit from a manager such as a Paul Heyman with a Brock Lesnar? Do you think that's what it might need to take to elevate him to the next level?
To get him over a certain hump, it definitely could be. The thing that he has, though, is, like you mentioned earlier, he can actually talk.
Yes.
Already much, much better than Lesnar, especially in ring.
Yes.
But the one thing, though, that Heyman would bring, if he would choose him as a Paul Heyman guy, would be this instantness of credibility. The only thing that people might worry about is he too similar to Lesnar, that it would seem that maybe Heyman is putting too many eggs in one basket of this particular type, the tall, individualistic superstar.
Moving on, Bayley. She's the women's champ, and we've seen her tag with the Hype Bros. I cannot stand Mojo Rawley. Zack Ryder failed on the main roster, so they pushed him back. And now she's tag teaming with them. This is the women's champion. I think that's a waste of her talent, and I think it's kind of a shame, because I feel like she could be doing more with a title reign. I think they should start building towards a new real shot at who's going to step up to challenge her, because Alexa Bliss is not going to be that person.
Yeah, I think this will be just one to further establish her dominance over the current crop of heel female wrestlers that still need to develop themselves. Alexa's a good stepping stone in that. But right now you have Dana Brooke and Emma, which is right now busy with Asuka. And
which is a great feud, by the way.
It's definitely developing. But again, right now Dana Brooke and Emma are sort of at this even thing. Alexa has made the move to sort of up her game up, being aligned with Blake and Murphy. I think the one thing that they should very well do pretty soon is firmly establish who is Nia Jax. Because she's doing these heelish tendency things, squashing opponents, but it's still with this smile on his face, so it's like, am I supposed to be mad at you for getting these women that are half your size, or what have you? If she is a down heel, that could eventually be the person that she loses it to. Or, of course, you could do what people are worried that WWE is heading towards, and that is Eva Marie taking the title off of Bayley.
Stop. Don't do that. But we're not even going to talk about Eva Marie as a problem at NXT because she's just a problem and she should just be gone. She is not worth our time. Stop wrestling.
See things squashing opponents, but it's still with this smile on his face, so it's like, am I supposed to be mad at you for getting these women that are half your size, or what have you? If she is a down heel, that could eventually be the person that she loses it to. Or, of course, you could do what people are worried that WWE is heading towards, and that is Eva Marie taking the title off of Bayley.
Stop. Don't do that. But we're not even going to talk about Eva Marie as a problem at NXT because she's just a problem and she should just be gone. She is not worth our time. Stop wrestling. Stop. Just. All right, quick notes on NXT because we're going to move on to WWE main roster stuff. Quick notes. So like lightning round stuff. I think Finn Balor's jacket's douchey. Quick thoughts. Yes or yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay? I think it's douchey. Not enough Gable. More Gable. Give me more Gable. Everyone wants more Gable. Ready? Willing.
Disagree only because I think that there's...
Ty Dillinger. Yes, the perfect 10. Tyler, give me more Ty Dillinger. Let's set up a Chad Gable, Ty Dillinger feud. All day. Because Gable's so full of himself, has the towel. Ty Dillinger's the perfect 10. It's the perfect storm. It's the perfect 10 storm. And we go on. So, main roster. First thing, we'll touch on some of these things really quick. We'll go into more depth on others. First thing we have to talk about is Kalisto beat Ryback.
Yes.
Yes, and I don't think anyone's... And usually in these tournaments, they'll throw on some kind of, left field kind of thing. They'll throw you a left hook really quick and be like, what? And then they'll throw it off. It's just to throw things off. But, and this is why I want to talk about it, is because recent reports have come out saying Kalisto was supposed to be the next Rey Mysterio. It didn't pan out that way. But now I think that since that's came out, obviously the WWE people know that report came out. Maybe this win over Ryback is the push. Because they set up a little thing about how they shook hands before the match and they shook hands after. Ryback is a Daniel Bryan guy. Now Kalisto's a Ryback guy. They had mutual respect for each other. Maybe now is the time that Kalisto rises to the occasion. Lucha.
The only thing that's very surprising, and this very well could be all thrown out of whack because of the fact of Seth Rollins' injury. There were reports that Ryback was going to be a guy that was pushed along with Dolph Ziggler in the absence of Randy Orton and John Cena. Something happened there.
Yeah, because Ryback lost to Kalisto. Tyler Breeze was a good decision to be in the tournament, and it's a good decision that he lost. A lot of people on the internet, this is my take on it. A lot of people on the internet have been kind of bashing WWE for saying, or for putting Tyler Breeze in this tournament, his debut, his real true debut in the ring, and he loses. But I say, good decision, because you don't want to push him too fast to the World Heavyweight title picture, because nobody knows him yet, Us NXT watchers, yes, we know him. Majority of the WWE universe does not. So to push him far in it would be a bad decision. It's a good decision to enter it because the tournament is supposed to be this, grand occasion. Yes, we have throw things like Kalisto in there and Titus O'Neil, but in general, it was supposed to be the best of the best who makes it in there. And in WWE's eyes, they saw Tyler Breeze was good enough to be even considered for that tournament. And that is a good sign. And it's not like he lost against Kalisto or a Titus O'Neil. He lost against Dean Ambrose, who's a top guy there. So it's not a bad decision. I don't think the win or the loss hurt him. And it wasn't a total, domination match. Tyler Breeze got a lot of good offense in. He had some good spots. And I don't think it's going to hurt him in a negative way. I think it was only good. Thoughts?
It was definitely good because it got his profile out there. The bigger thing that'll happen, I foresee, is that he will end up costing Dolph Ziggler the fact that he's now farther in the tournament than Tyler. That's going to piss him off, that he will screw Dolph Ziggler. And then there you go. You have another another Survivor Series match where the card is looking small.
Moving on. Obviously, Seth Rollins is going to be out for a long time. Who are your top heels right now? I think a lot of people would put Kevin Owens at the top of that list.
There is an opportunity here.
Yes.
They are not going to take it because they are that way. But this is the time after this, and people have been wanting this for years, that this might be the time to finally turn John Cena heel. Agreed. I know it's the cash cow, but this is the time where he comes, and how better than to actually have him tie Ric Flair's record by being somebody that people hate, especially when we're missing it. We have enough good guys. And again, Hogan did it.
He did. He did do it. And I think what would be cool is, we've all seen the John Cena versus Kevin Owens matches. Wouldn't it be great? It's not going to happen, so don't read into it. It's not going to happen. But let's say Kevin Owens, it comes down to Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens wins the title, right? He wins the title just in time for John Cena to make his triumphant return. They've obviously have a history. He comes back. Fans love him because they're not with Roman Reigns right now. It could be a double turn. You give Kevin Owens on people's side, have him be a face, but not a face like a Stone Cold face where it's like he doesn't do face things, but people like him anyways, like that kind of face. Have Roman be pissed, so you turn him heel, which we'll talk about later. John Cena comes back and says, no, a man like you should not be the champion. You do not represent us well. And then fans hate him, and he goes, why do you want this? It kind of flipped like, you fans are stupid for accepting this, scum of a human being as your new champion. That feud comes back. I want that feud back. It was so great. They work so well together. And that would be a realistic reason for John Cena to become a heel, because he's just, so mind-boggled, why do you chant John Cena sucks? And I do everything I possibly can that's good for you, and you still hate me. Yet this guy comes in, disrespects everybody, and now Kevin Owens rocks, and people love him. That could just be the snapping point of John Cena, and it would be great. It would be great. We are at the middle of our show. So now we're going to start our favorite segment for our favorite wrestler of all time. This week in
Heath Slater
Bay-bay. Yes, we love Heath Slater. Kind of. I don't know. He died.
No.
He passed.
No, he did
He's
not.
in a better place.
No, he didn't.
He just laid down and accepted his fate.
But he's in an even worse fate for wrestlers than death, and that is Purgatorio, where nothing is happening. Near as I could tell, his week consisted of losing at a house show, teaming along with Adam Rose.
Sad. I love Adam Rose.
Against Fandango.
And Damien Sandow. Fandango. Does anyone even know Heath Slater's finisher? Can anyone name it? Has anyone ever seen it? Has Heath Slater ever won a singles match? Ever. And the guy totally deserves it. He deserves it. And this will be a segment every week. Every week we will check back in on our boy Heath Slater to see if he's done anything of note. But no, he hasn't. So. Next segment. New Day rocks or New Day sucks? This week, I rank New Day rocks. I really like New Day.
Sucks.
Rocks. New Day rocks.
Sucks.
New Day rocks. All right. That was a quick segment. That's the thing that we're going to do every week, too. Does New Day rock or suck this week? I think they rock. He thinks they suck. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below. Moving on. Mex-America is fucking confusing.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You would think I mean, we've heard reports about, again, Kalisto trying to be replaced as Rey Mysterio. They brought back Alberto Del Rio, all to do what? To try and gain more Hispanic viewers, right? So they obviously care a lot about their Hispanic viewers. For whatever reason, whatever, it's just for views, whatever. Or you know what I'm saying. So, also, America, obviously, John Cena, all the Patriot stuff, we're in America, the USA chants or whatever. So, their idea is to make these two countries they care a lot about and both say are good countries, we care about these countries, morph them together, and that's bad? Bad why? Because Zeb Colt is kind of an asshole? The whole idea of Mex-America doesn't seem like an awful thing. That would be a good thing. Two countries getting along, uniting. Maybe not necessarily, becoming a real Mex-American nation, but, uniting as allies, and working together. Why is that coming off as a heel act? Why is that a bad thing? When they're out there, do we need to be chanting USA? Because USA is part of this Mex-America equation. It's one half of it. So, it is... Alberto Del Rio is supposed to be heel, obviously, because they're going talking trash about, people in England and all that. So they're supposed to be heel. Yes. Let's say Jack Spider comes back like everyone expects him to, as the all-American American, and he goes, "We're taking America back from the Mexicans. You're a heel." But what? It's very confusing, and I don't get it. All I can think of is maybe there's some underlying, motive to this, but for its face value, it makes no sense on a heel versus with face thing, and it should just stop happening.
There's two things that make this confusing. One, there's been nothing outwardly heelish that Alberto Del Rio has returned. The fact that he took the title away from John Cena was something that people were expecting and wanting at that particular time, because Cena does not need the United States Championship. Second thing that's confusing, the goal I always saw Zeb Coulter for was being a satirical piece to be showing a particular side of the political spectrum. I'm not going to say which one, but the part that's confusing is he's going way off of that thing that he was satirizing. So now it's become this whole other thing that's very confusing.